lot of learners think that Brits talk about the weather all the time. There's a little bit more to it than that. Let's start with the most British of all greetings. All right, mate, or all right, love. How's things? You're going to hear this everywhere in the UK. It's one of the most common and casual greetings that you're going to hear. Usually, mate is used for men and love is used for, you can probably guess, women. I know it sounds a little bit intimate, but trust me, it's not. It's very casual and people use this all the time. You're going to hear this everywhere, from baristas in the cafe to bus drivers, shopkeepers, everybody. So remember, it's warmth and there's nothing romantic or weird about it. It's really short for how are things with you, but no one says the full version. It's not formal like hello, greetings, nice to meet you. It's just very casual, very easy. It's super effortless. So you can say this as well if you are just meeting someone for the first time. And the funny thing is, most people don't really expect a full answer back. So if someone says to you, all right, mate, you can just say, yeah, all right. How's it going? Easy. So if you find yourself in the UK and you are talking to a bus driver, for example, just say, all right, love. And trust me, that's going to go down really well. It's going to make you sound just like a local. So let's look at some examples. All right, mate. How's things? Yeah, not bad. Cheers. You? All right, love. Haven't seen you in ages. How's it going? Yeah, really good, thanks. How are you? All right, mate. How's things at work lately? Yeah, everything's pretty good. How about you? So these are just some simple examples of what you might hear in a regular conversation. Next up, this is something in British small talk that you're going to hear all the time. You know when you bump into someone that you kind of know, but you're a bit too familiar with them to just nod and walk away. So this is when Brits are going to roll out the safe question. You keeping busy? So the reason it's a safe one is because it's friendly and polite, but it doesn't invite too much depth. It's not like you're too interested and you really want to start a conversation. It's like the ultimate small talk, let's say. This is a brilliant question because it works everywhere, at the restaurant, at the cashier, if you just bump into someone on the street that you know, and you're going to keep the conversation pretty short, probably. And the funny thing is the reply to this doesn't even matter that much. So someone might say, you keeping busy? The other person could say something like, oh yeah, same old, or oh yeah, too busy really. The conversation's kind of done there, so you can nod, smile, carry on with your day. It's basically the British way of saying, I see you, I acknowledge you, but we're both busy and we can keep walking. It's zero drama, no pressure, just pure, authentic British small talk. So you can try this the next time you bump into somebody on the streets. If you're in the UK and you kind of know them, you can ask them, you keeping busy? Here are some examples. One person might say, all right, mate, you keeping busy? Yeah, trying to. Work's mad at the moment. Or slightly different version. We can just shorten it to treating you. For example, how's retirement treating you? Oh, yeah, same old, same old. Haven't seen you in a while. You been keeping busy? Yeah, bits and bobs here and there. Okay, side note, bits and bobs means it's another way of saying things, basically. You hear that in Britain all the time. Now, this one is a little bit more colloquial. It means I don't understand or it's hard to believe. You'll hear it often when people are talking about something that's surprising or confusing, or they really don't get it. So it's a wonderfully British way to admit that you don't really get something. For example, she runs a marathon every weekend. I just can't get my head around it. They spent that much time in the coffee shop. I just can't get my head around it. As you can see, it's not just about confusion. It's about emphasizing your disbelief in something. And it doesn't have to be very serious. It can just be something that keeps the small talk going. And of course, in a true British fashion, we don't really get angry about certain things. We just sort of sigh and laugh and accept how crazy it is. So next time you hear something that is kind of beyond your comprehension, doesn't make any sense, or is just crazy, you can say, I just can't get my head around it. So here are some good small talk examples. Whew. It's raining so much this April. I just can't get my head around it. Yeah, I know, right? We haven't had this much rain in ages. Perfect weather, small talk. They're charging £5 for a coffee over there. I just can't get my head around it. That is daylight robbery, I'll tell you that. She's moving to Australia next week. I can't get my head around it. Yeah, wow, I can't believe she's going there already. So these are just some examples of using the phrase can't get my head around it. Easy, effortless, and super British. Have you ever had one of those days where everything's just going wrong and it's just super hard to deal with? It's not really the end of the world, but you are feeling pretty down and disappointed. This is the perfect moment when a Brit will say, it's a bit of a nightmare. This phrase is a classic British understatement. We don't say it's a total disaster or, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Instead, in a true British way, we're going to slightly downplay it. We keep calm and we say, it's a bit of a nightmare. So for example, your train is cancelled, your phone is broken, it's raining a lot and you don't have an umbrella. You can say, it's a bit of a nightmare. It's the perfect way to complain without making a drama out of it. So it means something went wrong, but instead of crying about it, you just smile and drink your tea and try to carry on. Here are some examples. The train was really delayed this morning. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I had to queue at the doctor's for 3 hours. Wow, that sounds like a bit of a nightmare. I lost my keys this morning. It was a bit of a nightmare. Sounds like that. So British people love to downplay troubles. So instead of saying it was awful, it's a bit of a nightmare. You get it. Now this one is British people's go-to phrase for anything that's a bit surprising, annoying, or downright unbelievable. Someone wins the lottery. Can't believe it. You let the dog out and you weren't supposed to. Can't believe it. The train's delayed again. Can't believe it. What's funny here is that the tone does everything. So if you say it with wide eyes and a shocked face, it's amazement. Like, I can't believe it. Say it with a groan. Can't believe it. It's frustration. Say it deadpan. Can't believe it. Pure British sarcasm. It's short, emotional, works with every single mood. That's probably why we love it over here. It's expressive without being too dramatic. So next time something catches you off guard, you can say, I can't believe it. Some examples here. What? They closed the cafe already. I can't believe it. It's only just opened. He actually passed his driving test. What? I can't believe it. It's October and it's still warm. I know, I can't believe it. So you're going to hear this in shops, at the park, anywhere really. It's a really classic and common British phrase to use and perfect for small talk. Do you know what it's like? This one is a real conversational small talk gem. It's the kind of phrase that fits perfectly into small talk. It's friendly, it's familiar, the perfect mixture of vague and comforting. When someone says, you know what it's like, it really means, I know you must understand me. You've probably been through this before, so you understand me. It's kind of a way of creating an instant connection, like you've both been through the same thing and you can relate. For example, someone might say, I've been up all night with the baby. You know what it's like. So it's not about sympathy. It's about understanding and creating a sense of shared experience. It's warm, it's comforting, and it's subtle. And it's so easy to use in small talk because you can relate to the other person, right? So next time you're talking about an everyday little struggle, you can say, yeah, you know what it's like. For example, I didn't get to bed until midnight last night. You know what it's like. Or the kids have been a handful this week. You know what it's like. I've really tried to save money this month, but I ended up buying a takeaway every week. You know what it's like. Now, this one is classic British humor. A little bit self-deprecating, a little bit resigned, and very, very relatable. You'll hear this when absolutely nothing is going someone's way. Like, it's raining and you don't have an umbrella, or the sun comes out the second you get back home. The phrase is, you can't win, can you? It's a small phrase that's packed with British irony. It's a phrase that expresses frustration, but without getting dramatic or angry about it. It's kind of like saying, that's life, what to do. So when the world is starting to become uncooperative and things are not going your way, you can say, can't win, can you? For example, I tried to leave early for work, but then I got stuck in traffic. Can't win, can you? Or I made a salad to be healthy, but then I ate some cake. Can't win, can you? So it's a way of saying, oh well, what can you do? Which is also another phrase that we can use, by the way. What can you do? Okay, it means the same thing. So say it with a smile. It's very easygoing, very small talk. This next one is so British and it's used all the time. If you go to England, if you go to Britain, you're going to hear this a lot. On the surface, it just means, okay, that makes sense, or I understand. But the beauty of fair enough is it's polite, it's non-committal, and it can be used in so many different kinds of conversation. It's kind of like a neutralizing phrase. It balances out the conversation. So, for example, someone might say, I don't like tea. Instead of saying, oh, really? Why not? Or, oh, that's a strange thing to say. You can just say, fair enough. So here it's kind of like you're saying, might not agree with you, but I don't really want to get into a conversation about it right now. It can also be used when you do agree with something, or if you just want to validate someone's point. So someone could say, wow, it's really sunny outside today. I love the sun. Oh, fair enough. So next time you're making small talk and you want to avoid any conversations overstepping the line or getting too deep, you can say, fair enough. Let's take an example here. I can't make it tonight. I've got family round. Okay, fair enough. I'm not a big fan of football, to be honest. All right, fair enough. It shows that you're listening and polite, but you don't necessarily have to agree. That's the magic of this phrase. You may have heard someone before say, all right, let's crack on. The phrase crack on basically means to get started with something and keep it moving. But where does this phrase actually come from? The origin's a bit of a mix, but most likely it comes from the old word crack, which meant a sharp, sudden sound or burst of action. So to crack on literally means to burst into action. Some people even trace it back to nautical slang, where sailors on ships would literally say crack on the sails. So they would crack on the sails to pick up speed. Let me know if you know anything about the origin of this phrase, and you can tell me in the comments if you think I've got it right. But let's get back to how to use this with small talk. So whether you're just trying to get back to work or firing up a new project, you can say, let's crack on. For example, anyway, must crack on, loads to do today. Or, right, I better crack on before the boss catches me. Anyway, lovely chatting, must crack on. So it's a smooth way to end the chat politely without it being awkward. So there you have it, some everyday British small talk that Brits actually use and you can use too if you visit the UK. The real trick with British small talk is to keep it light. Keep your tone light. Don't make it too serious. Don't make it too intense or emotional. Just keep the tone light. We use a lot of humor and understated phrases like could be worse or it's a bit of a nightmare. It's all about sounding polite and positive, even when life's a little bit rubbish. So next time you're chatting with someone British, try to use a bit of these phrases, and trust me, you're going to sound so natural. If you enjoyed this video today and you want to see more content like this, more British slang, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, like the video. See you next time. Have a great day.